Okay, so we are here live today with Ann Gogarty from University at Albany. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jennifer Kenyon from Study New York, and we're going to ask Ann some questions about you at Albany. So Ann, can you tell us a little bit about your location?
Absolutely. And thank you for having me today. This is so fun. University at Albany is located in the city of Albany, as is in our name. We're about 2.5 hours north of New York City, about the same distance from Boston. Albany is the seat of the state government. So Albany, the city, has its own charm as well. But of course, many of our students at U Albany love to visit New York City, Boston, Montreal. We're in a great location in the Northeast United States where students get kind of the best of all worlds. Lots of industry as well as government and medical facilities, hospitals, great opportunities for students to take advantage of in the city of Albany.
That sounds great. Now, Ann, can you
Yeah.
tell me what are some of your top majors, and maybe specifically, what are some majors that are great for international students?
That is such a great question. And of course, the right answer is all of our majors are great for international students, right?
Of course.
But the ones that international students tend to gravitate toward at University at Albany would be things like actuarial science, mathematical sciences, of course, computer science and computer engineering, business administration and everything that it entails, marketing, finance, management, accounting, of course. Cybersecurity is a very, very popular one, and emergency preparedness. And I think, particularly in the world we live in right now with the global pandemic, almost all students are interested in emergency preparedness. How can we be, more prepared in the future for something like this to happen, but also typhoons and earthquakes all over the world. Many students that come to University at Albany are very familiar with these natural disasters. So that's a real unique major that we have at University at Albany, and it's very popular for international students. Also, I would say economics,
Mm.
psychology are very popular, communication, urban studies and planning is another one. And then a lot of the pre's, like pre-law, pre-health, public health, and of course our Rockefeller College of Public Administration is also very popular for students. Another one that's very, I think, popular for students to kind of fall into
Mhm.
after they've come is globalization studies. They
Mm.
want to know how they can bring, whenever I talk to students, I say, you have no idea the advantage you have for knowing more than just one language already, when you come to the campus. And students want to bring that global experience and put it to work for them. And so a lot of times a minor or a double major in globalization studies, something like that. A lot of students take advantage of that as well.
That sounds really exciting. So
Yeah.
now, if a student is interested in applying, what is your admission requirement?
Well, they should just go on to our site, www.albany.edu, and just click on admissions, international admissions, and there's 3 different ways they can apply there. They can use the Albany specific online application, the
Mhm.
SUNY application, State University of New York application, or the common application. Any of those are fine. We try to do everything electronically. Students can send official documents such as their transcripts, from high school, from college. We evaluate on predicted grades, so students don't have to have graduated. A lot of them ask me that, and
Right.
you can apply your senior year or when you're at your college if you're thinking about transferring.
Mhm.
So transcripts, we'll need those. Now we are test optional, so the SAT, ACT is not required,
Great.
but sometimes students want to submit that because they have a great score, and that's fine. If English is not the first language, though, we do need to see a TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. Or some students have taken English at a community college, not just in the US, but for example, if they're in Malaysia, at one of the university colleges in Malaysia, if they've taken the English equivalent there, then we can waive the TOEFL test for them. We do, as part of the application, they do a short essay and a letter of recommendation. And then we evaluate all of this to give students a scholarship. We don't require them to send us another scholarship application. We know that all students want a scholarship, or many are deserving of one. So we make it an automatic process.
Great.
And these scholarships can go up to $15,000 a year, so not too bad for a public institution. And you know, we try to be as generous with those scholarships as we can, especially in the merit section. So students always ask me, how can I get a scholarship? What do I need to do? Well, you just need to apply. Your grades are going to help, but we do take into consideration where you're coming from. Many countries around the world have a much more stringent way of grading than many of our, you know, we are used to one kind of system here in the US, and there's many different systems overseas. Some students take IB, AP classes. We'll give a year's worth of credit for that, you know, and students, it just is so fun how excited students get when they're like, what? You mean I get credit for that? These classes that I sweated over, you know, and worked so hard for, oh, I'm gonna get credit. And we're like, yes. So it's important for students to just not only just apply. I love it when students contact me first, you know, and say, or contact any one of our, you know, international admissions counselors, because we can guide students through the process. We can help them with this is what it's not a scary process. It's not at all. And we want students to come, just like all of us do, right? In the US, we want international students to come. So we will help you make the process easier. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what we ask for when you apply for admission. So
For sure. Well, that's great. And it's wonderful to hear that you have scholarships as well. And if a student wants to get in touch with you all at University at Albany, how can they do that?
well, I can put it right here on my name. So my name is Ann Gogarty, and my email address is agogarty@albany.edu. And that
Beautiful.
should be right there. So agogarty@albany.edu. I'm going to have my phone on right now. I know I'm going to be getting a lot of messages after this Facebook Live, so I better get busy right now. But we do love, you know, that's what I do. That we're counselors, and it's fun. And while we can't go see students in person right now, at least we can see you, you know, online, and we really encourage you guys to apply, or at least get information, so that you can make some decisions. So I hope to hear from you soon, and thanks so much for having me today. This was great.
Well, that's fantastic.
Really
Thank
great.
you so much. Thank you so much, Ann. Thank you for joining us. This is the first of our series of Q&As with Study New York member schools. So thank you so much, Ann, for being our very first Q&A. It's wonderful to learn a little bit more about you, Albany, and thank you so much for joining us.
Cool. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.